For such a densely populated place, the Gaza Strip is incredibly isolated. It's hard to get out, and the communications infrastructure, telephones and internet, cannot meet the demand. So when Gaza's internet cafes were attacked in a series of bombings, the ability of Palestinians to connect to the outside world took a major hit. The Listening Post's Salah Khader now on the bombings, their impact, and the theories on who's behind them.
For the 1.4 million people of Gaza, 40 years into an occupation and with a near civil war on their hands, the sound of an explosion is all too common. But when you are the owner of an internet cafe, you don't expect to be the target.
الساعة 3 الفجر تقريبا 3:10 صباحيا سمعت صوت انفجار. طبعا أنا ساكن فوق المحل. نزلت على صوت الانفجار لقيت المحل تبعي في تم استهدافه بقوة جانبية لاصقة. حجم الدمار كان يعني مهول. وصلنا في الشرطة، اجت الشرطة والمباحث، تم عملية مسح للمحل. طبعا هم اللي فهمونا وقالوا لي هذه عبوة لاصقة جانبية مؤقتة تنفجر على طريق عدل. لقيت احنا بالنسبة لنا ثاني يوم الصبح نتفاجئ انه كل الكافيات الموجودة في المنطقة، يعني كانت 8 كافيات موجودة في نفس المنطقة تم استهدافها في نفس الوقت. في عندك في جباليا، في عندك في بيت حنون، في عندك في رفح، في عندك في خانونس، في عندك منصرات. طبعا ضربوا محلات كلها في يوم واحد.
تفاجأت الساعة 5 الصبح جاني اتصال تليفوني ان المحل انضرب. فكرتها مسحة، بس قلت مش ممكن تكون مسحة الساعة 5 الصبح، يعني مش شاب يعني موثوق من كلامه يعني. رحت هناك على المحل، تفاجأت بالواقع، يعني حاجة يعني ما تتخيلهاش ابدا في حياتك. يعني محلك مرة ليش؟ ايش السبب؟ ايش فيه؟ ايش اللي حصل؟ يهود، عرب، مين؟
An Islamic group no one had ever heard of, the Swords of Righteousness, claimed responsibility for the attacks because the net is a decadent place that distracts young Palestinians from the cause of jihad. The first news reports bought that line, calling the attacks ideological, signs of an Islamization of Palestine. But Gaza is a complicated place. The attacks could have been criminal acts, part of a turf war between clans, a symptom of Gaza's social and security breakdown. In most places, the loss of a few internet cafes would not really matter. Gaza, however, is not exactly wired for broadband. Most people can't connect at home. They rely on net cafes.
يعني أنا مستغرب ليش هم يعني بيعملوا العملات هذه. يعني مش ملاقين يعني فلسطين اتحررت وخلص واليهود طلعوا ومش ضايع والعملاء انقتلوا والجواسيس كلهم، يعني مش ضايع الا كافيهات النت. لا يا عم، طب ما احنا بنستخدم كافيهات النت لشغلات سلمية ضرورية في حياتنا، اللي هي معرفة نتائج الجامعة. بدل ما نروح على الجامعة ندفع مواصلات، ما بنعرف عن طريق النت ايش قديش جبنا، ولا ما بدك تسجل الفصل الجديد برضه عن طريق النت.
اللي صار في تفجيرات الانترنت هذه كانت كثير صعبة على الشباب. ليش؟ بسبب أول شيء مش متنفس لنا غير الانترنت. ثاني شغلة إنه هي النت الطريقة الوحيدة إن الواحد بيتصل فيها بالعالم الخارجي، بأصدقائه بأهله بأصحابه، كونه إحنا معنا شويات ممكن الواحد يتصل بأصدقائه أو أقاربه عن طريق الإنترنت طبعاً. فالشغلة هذه لما تكون مش موجودة في مجتمعنا فأكيد رح تكون صعبة كثير علينا.
If the attacks really were ideological and Islamists really do oppose the internet, then the Swords of Righteousness came up with an odd way of making their beliefs known. They sent this message over the net.
حتى يعني الإخوة كمان اللي فجروا المحل بيتعاملوا مع الإنترنت، نزلوه عن طريق برنامج إلكتروني عن دنيا الوطن بيعرضوا فيه إنه إحنا نزلنا البيان كذا. يبقى إذا أنت بتعرض بيانك على الإنترنت، هل الإنترنت مخل؟
سيوف الحق، مش عارف ايش جماعة سيوف الحق تبع لمين؟ ايش وظيفتها؟ ايش شغلتها بالضبط؟ مش عارف.
نحن الآن نعيش في ظل حكومة، وفي ظل حكومة يعني مصدرها الفلتان الأمني. فلتان أمني، يعني أتحدى الحكومة أنها عرفت مين اللي عمل الأعمال هذه، لكن أتحدى الحكومة نفسها، وأتحدى من يقف بجانب الحكومة إذا بيقدر يجيب الراجل هذا ويحطه في السجن.
In the chaos that is Gaza, however, after so long under occupation, the invisible hand of the Israelis is never far from suspicion.
90% بل 200% ان الموساد بيكون وراء الكلام هذا لمحاربة الفكر التعليمي للمجتمع الفلسطيني. بده دائما يخلينا مجتمع جاهل، مجتمع عرفت كيف مش مثقف، لا مطور اسلوب العصر نهائي، يعني احنا بنغرق. يعني ايش ضل تاني غير كافي نت؟ يعني وين الشاب بده يروح؟ يعني حتى لو الشاب مثلا ساقط اخلاقيا، يعني بده يجي على كافي نت بيقعد مثلا حيلاقي نفسه حاجه يستفيد منها، حيتعلم منها، حيفيد مجتمعه منها، لكن غير هيك يعني وين حيروح تاني الشاب؟ لو في مثلا وضع امن امنيه قويه، في جهاز شرطه عرفت كيف قوي، ما كانش تجرأ انه هو يفجر محل زي هيك نهائي. يعني انا في البدايه قلت لك فكرت انه هو يهود سوق جايين من الطياره، ما توقعش ان مثلا قذافه تكون محطوطه على المحل. وسبب فلتان الامن هذا سلطات الاحتلال هي وراء كل اللي بيحدث في غزه.
That's how Palestinians see this lapse into lawlessness. They see internet cafes and the people who use them as casualties of the occupation.
Two more Global Village voices now with their take on what's happening in Gaza.
In Gaza, nothing is ever quite what it seems. As with the capture of BBC journalist Alan Johnston, taken not as a political captive but as a bargaining chip in an ongoing Gaza feud, the recent spate of internet cafe bombings can be read in the broader context of Gaza's lapse into chaos. And in the murky world of Gaza lawlessness, anything goes. What I am saying is that in the absence of a strong central authority and a sovereign, accountable state on one hand, and a clear and present occupier who lives up to its obligations on the other, clan culture and all the loyalties that come along with it has come to dominate.
The way the media reported this didn't reveal anything about the reality for the action or the reality of Gaza. I feel also that, you know, when we hear about these attacks on internet shops and cafes and schools, we don't really get the point of view of anyone from Gaza. They don't interview any of the students, for example, from the school, or the person who worked in the shop, or the person who lives in the street where the shop was bombed. We don't get any idea of the local reaction to these attacks.
Now, most Palestinians are irate the attacks are going unstopped, but they will also say that it's the least of their concerns right now. After all, aid workers are being shot at and kidnapped, the streets are no longer safe for their children, and this is all happening despite an overabundance of security forces. Some 70,000 are loyal to Mahmoud Abbas, another 6,000 are loyal to Hamas. Fueled by these competing loyalties and foreign monies with vested interests, the security forces are too busy fighting each other to stop crime. The internet cafe bombings are just one more symptom of a society methodically cast into the abyss, decaying, debilitated, and on the verge of implosion.
Finally, this past week was the 4th anniversary of the day President George W. Bush climbed on that aircraft carrier and effectively declared the Iraq War over, the mission accomplished. American filmmaker Robert Greenwald has joined forces with the spoken word artist Stephen Connell to mark that anniversary. The result is not quite a celebration, but it's a big hit on the web, so it's our Internet Video of the Week. We'll see you next time at the Listening Post.
Major combat operations in Iraq have ended.
Same crime.
In the Battle of Iraq,
different time.
The United States and our allies,
King George,
have prevailed.
He's back to bomb Iraq despite how the world reacts. So now the media gets greedy and controls the facts. That makes you wonder if them facts is so white and black. They're much greater. Say your prayers, George. He doesn't want calm. He wants to bring this generation to the next Vietnam and content to let what's gone by be bygones until he turned Baghdad into Saigon. The bombs, they drop. Don't stop till Saddam gone. Choked, rotten from the hangman's tourniquet. In case y'all forgotten, countless numbers in the hospital. We've gone from mission accomplished to mission impossible to somebody. Please tell me the mission that we're on. Tell me we haven't spent the last 6 years going wrong. The good name of America that's entirely gone. In the eyes of the world, we're just as bad as Saddam. There's a chess game being played, and it's been played for too long, and I'm afraid, because our king is starting to look like their pawn. And Osama's happy to keep playing because he's praying for both sides, because to the victor goes the genocide. So he doesn't care who gets it. He brazenly admits it. He's happy in the briar patch. He's daring us to visit. His mission was to make America his accomplice. Mission accomplished? Not quite the case. So this is your chance to replace Bush's mission with one of your choice. The winning voice will be a bumper sticker for your car or your truck. Just go to tellusthemission.com. Good luck.